Hey everyone, Leanne here from Kingdom Bloggers. So it is the top of a new month. Welcome to May, which means it's time for me to share my previous month, so my April blog income and traffic reports. I'm not going to lie, April was very painful, as it was for many bloggers, at least those who were, to the level of actually earning income. Google did its thing and just killed so much of our traffic. All three of my websites were severely impacted, a few more, or one or two more than others, but overall, it was painful. But I also started implementing some other strategies in an effort to try to regain what was lost. And so I'm going to show you those as well and kind of like show you that those things are working, and then some other things that I'm going to test out in the next month. All right, so let's hop over here. It's got my fancy presentation here for you. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into the numbers. So my April traffic. So what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to highlight, so the current month that we're reviewing compared to the previous month, and they'll be red or green to show whether it's going up or down. This month was all down, and yes, it's very painful. So you can see how much traffic was lost from April compared to March. So Kingdom went from 67,000 to 46,000. Actually, so I did have a drop in. So, okay, my Google traffic for Kingdom was basically hit by about 50%. I lost about 50% of my Google traffic. And where this other losses came from, I had a lot of referral traffic from other websites that were doing really well. Well, many of them got hit also. So not only did I lose my own organic search traffic, I lost the referral from other bloggers who also got hit really hard that were linking their top content to some of my content. So it's contagious. The Google update was like a cancer that just spread through so many of us. So but I'm staying positive. Okay. The Praise site went from 29,000 to 17,000, and the Bible study printables, that one got hit the least. I'm thinking because printables are really popular. I don't know. But it went from 21,000 to 19,000. So it did get hit, but not quite as bad as the other two sites. And for those of you new to joining these blog income reports, the reason I share the traffic is because my income, as most of you will understand as you begin to grow, your income is directly proportional to the amount of organic traffic that you're getting. If you don't have traffic, you're not going to make income. Most of my income, the majority of my income each month does come from ad revenue. That is dependent upon traffic, of course. And so the less traffic means less income. All right, so let's dive into the numbers. So my income, ad revenue. So this month's earnings are still good because it's from like 2 months ago, right? And so with your ad revenue and many of your affiliate programs as well, they don't pay you as soon as you earn it. It's about a month or so offset. So I think next month's payout and definitely, let's see, April, May, June's payout's going to be pretty abysmal. Okay. And so hopefully by then I can make it up in some other areas, but that's okay. So ad revenue 2420. Affiliate income was actually pretty good this month. I had several different affiliate programs that I promote do fairly well. Also, I promote a lot of my fellow bloggers' Bible studies and things like that. And funny enough, I got several deposits from Amazon for I have a coloring book and a devotional on Amazon KDP. And I had a few different payouts. They weren't much. They were like $5 or $9 here and there, but they were from the different, so you have Amazon US, you have Amazon Europe, you have Amazon like different countries. And so I had several payments, one right after the other for a few dollars, I'm guessing, and it showed on there EU and so forth. So that was kind of cool to see. My product sales, so these are my digital products that I sell on Etsy as well as Gumroad. And it was actually a really good month for both compared to previous months. I think January was my highest because everyone's buying Bible reading plans. So April was actually my second highest so far this year. And so a total between the two was $355. My teachable income, I didn't have any course launches this month. So this is recurring, just, people randomly buying my standalone courses as well as my memberships. I do have a couple of different memberships. And so 800. So my total income, how much actually was deposited into my account. And just so you know, these numbers come directly from my bank statement. So it's not, I earned it, but I haven't got paid yet. This is literally money that was deposited into my account for this month. So it was 4401.20, 4,401.20. But here's the expenses. So standard monthly expenses pretty much average around 350-ish. So this month 362. So these are my hosting, my ConvertKit, other plugins that I pay on a monthly basis, ChatGPT, my Buzzsprout membership for the podcast that I haven't been keeping up with, and things like that. So these are just recurring monthly expenses. My contract workers, this was the final month because they did have work for April, but in April, like I mentioned, if you watched last month's video, because of the decimation of traffic, I had to cut back on expenses. And so unfortunately, two of my VAs were let go, at least for now. I'm hoping, things will pick up by the end of the year and I can bring them back on. And so, but I did have all three of them still employed for the month of April. And so these were the payouts that I just paid them this past yesterday, actually. They get paid on the first of the month. So 1,300. Now, this month, and I've done a few videos on this, I am testing out Facebook ads. So for the very first time, I know. I always said I would never pay Facebook money, but things are changing. And so I am willing to try some different strategies if they work. And so far, they are proving fruitful. And so I started with a $5 a day budget. And so for the month of April, I spent $78. And I'll have another few videos that talk about my ad strategy. Actually, I do have one other one where I kind of break it down for the first 3 weeks of doing it. But I'll have some more as I get more data to share with you on that. But $78 for Facebook ads. My miscellaneous expenses this month was a little more because I had some new things I was doing. So there was a course. So I have one course that I still have a few payments left on that I got from Black Friday. So that one, I did do the Stupid Simple blogging course, which is an annual renewal for me because it's just a really great course. And then there were some tools that I purchased. Post Planner was one of them. I like to pay for things on an annual basis because you get like a little bit of a discount. And so Post Planner was a couple of $100, but I paid for the year. And then there was one or two other things, courses and plugins or tools that I did purchase this month. And so that made my miscellaneous expenses a little higher for this month. My tithing and charity, I mean, they're not expenses. That number is based off my income. So, but I list them on here just because this is just to show you my end of month, how much I actually get to keep. So this stays pretty steady every single month. I have several charities that I do give to, as well as the tithe off of my earnings. And for those of you new who are watching these for the first time, I'm not sharing this to say, oh, look, she gives so much money. It's not about that. I've had so many people reach out and ask me, how much do I give? Not because they're nosy, but because they want to also start giving and they weren't quite sure like how to calculate it. And so I do base it off of the gross for the month before I do all of my subtraction of everything else. So that's on here. April was tax month. I do, and you will too in the US, pay federal quarterly taxes. We don't get to keep all this money. Uncle Sam's going to take a big chunk of it. And so for the first quarter, I had to send a nice little payment of $1,500. Also, my state sales tax and use remission was due $6.41. So these are from my Gumroad sales. If you're just selling on Etsy, you don't have to worry about it. Etsy takes care of it. But if you do sell products on Gumroad, depending on the state that you reside in, you have different tax requirements. And so I had to send my state $6.41. Not a lot. This is about average, anywhere from $2 to $6. And I do that every quarter. So my total expenditures, money going out, was 5,009.83 cents. And if you remember from the previous screen, that puts me in a deficit for this month. These numbers are great when you're like, wow, she made $4,400 this month. In order to have a ministry like I have that, does earn income and has many different moving parts, it does cost money. Aside from taxes, you have your different things, your subscriptions, your plugins. You got to take training and courses and just different things. And so this month's expenses were a little high, but like I mentioned, I did enroll in a couple of courses and some new tools that I'm going to be using. So I got to keep a whopping $600.08, or I'm sorry, $608.63. But, actually, I didn't. I'm sorry. I can't even speak. I am in the deficit $608. So I actually got to keep none of my money this month. But that's okay because some of the new things that I've been testing out are already proving fruitful. And so I'm going to keep at it. And, hopefully next month will be much better. So, what new things am I doing? I think this is very important for everyone to see. SEO was king for so long. Google has changed that. And so, as an instructor, as a teacher of this stuff, I have to kind of figure out like, where do I teach you guys next? Like, y'all, I've really been struggling with this because I'm like, everything I've known, everything that has been working for the last 5 years, suddenly overnight, just like that, is no longer working for the majority of bloggers. And so, where do we go from here? And I was praying about it and praying about it. And, God kind of led me to some different things, revelations, and just things I would see others talking about that are working. And so I'm going to be testing out different ones. This past month, April, I started with the Facebook. So I do a paid ad simply for page likes. I'm not boosting posts. They're not blog posts that I'm paying for. It's literally to like and follow my Facebook page. With that, it is a ramped up effort of posting anywhere from 8 to 12 posts a day. And I'm using Post Planner so that I can just get it all done and be done with it. But I have a very specific strategy that I'm using. And I'm going to show you on the next screen just a snapshot of how well that has worked so far. So that is my number one, I guess, focus going into this month, into May, is to really focus on that Facebook part of it. My next one is going to be, oh, I spelled pinning wrong. Increasing my pinning. I'm already doing fairly well with Pinterest. Kingdom gets between 12 and 15 or 16,000 visits a month. So I'm just going to ramp that up, as well as for the other two sites. Increase Gumroad studies. So I have free and paid like Bible studies. They're very, very simple. It's like a short summary, kind of the dummy version, not super intensive. It's like really meant for brand new people to faith who really don't know anything and need a very simple version. It has questions, study questions, reflection questions. Most of these are free, but I also have a blog post on my website. They were from when it was SEO. So they are SEO. Some of the newer ones, I'm not making them quite so SEO. They're simple summaries with some of the questions, but they're very valuable pieces of content if someone was able to find them. And in the Gumroad PDF that the person gets, again, many of these are free. So I have lots of Pinterest pins going to these. I share them on Facebook and so forth. So when they download the PDF and it has all the study questions, it has a clickable link and a QR code in case they print it out that goes over to the blog post. Now, I've been using a UTM tracking code so I can see in Google Analytics which blog posts are getting traffic from those Gumroad studies. Otherwise, they just go into regular traffic. So I'm targeting them with a specific UTM tracking code. That way, in Google Analytics, I can go and see all my Gumroad traffic. And so far, that is doing really well. So the more of those that I can create that are totally free, get more Pinterest pins out there, sharing them on social media and things like that, that is helping to increase my traffic as well. So I am definitely going to continue on with that. I have different series. I have Women of the Bible, the parables, miracles of Jesus, just different stories and things like that. And they are very, very, I get so much feedback on them. So that is definitely something. I will do another video about that just to kind of show you exactly what that looks like. I've been getting a little more active on TikTok. My monthly Bible reading plan is what I'm utilizing. And so I share basically every morning. I go sit in my garden and I just record myself reading the daily verse from my reading plan using a Life Application Study Bible. And I've been actually getting traffic from TikTok. So I have a link in bio, and in that is a link to the page where they can download the reading plan. So I'm going to continue that, and we'll see at the end of in May how much traffic I get from TikTok as a result of sharing the Bible study over there. I'm also, I didn't write this on here, but my Instagram profile has primarily been as a Christian blogger teacher, right? So all my videos, when I did do it, were about teaching blogging stuff. I'm actually transitioning that into being the more sharing the gospel. And so the videos that I'm doing of the morning Bible verse reading and some other things, I'm just going to go ahead and schedule those to also publish to Instagram. And I do get on average between 5 and 10 a month visits to my website from Instagram from the blogging. So we'll see how that transitions into traffic for the Bible reading plan and free printables and stuff like that. So we'll see next month how that worked. I am going to ramp up my YouTube tutorials. So like this video here, I'm going to spend a little more time making sure I'm publishing at least 2 videos a week on YouTube because I do get ad revenue from there. Flipboard is a new one that I'm testing out. It's not a brand new platform, but it's new to most of us. I have a few videos where I talk about it. So we'll see how that goes. And then the final thing that I'm going to be doing right now, I send one email on Mondays, and it's, a Bible study related thing with link to the free download and all of that. And then I also have another one for my blogging tips tutorial. So actually right now I send 2 emails a week, one to my Bible study list and one to my blogging tips list. For the Bible study list, I am going to add a new email in which I just simply share a link to a page on my site that has free downloads. I have a lot of free stuff. I have coloring pages, screensavers, free Bible studies, free. I just have so much stuff. And so I'm just going to send out a weekly email that, hey, here's your weekly freebie, and we'll see how that goes. They have to obviously open the link to the blog post, and then the download link is there. And so hopefully that will increase some traffic as well. So let me just show you really quick the Facebook. So prior to April, I did not share anything on Facebook. And I would get a little bit of traffic from Facebook, but it was a result of people who read my content and then would share it on their Facebook. It wasn't a result of me sharing on my Facebook page because I just didn't do that. I rarely ever shared anything. I might share it on my Leanne page, but hardly ever. Facebook wasn't in my purview at that point. For the month of April, you can see the numbers here. So Kingdom, 516 sessions from Facebook to the Kingdom Bloggers website. Now, it's not like millions, but it's more than the previous month of 85. And that was the beginning of me starting. I didn't start the ads until April 13th. And it was about a week before that I just randomly started posting stuff. So really for about 2.5 weeks of effort on my Facebook page resulted in over 500 visits to the website. Now I do use the one Facebook page for all 3 of my websites. So I'm sharing the links to all of them. And so the Pray site got 122 visits, and the printable site got 238. So this is why for the next few months, Facebook is going to be my primary focal point, aside from Pinterest, which is kind of on autopilot. So my new focus, where I'm going to put the most energy and effort, is to building my Facebook page. And I've mentioned for most of you, if you do the blogging, the Bible study type content, or maybe Christian parenting, things like that, you have Bible study material, I would say that would be a really good place to focus. Even if you can't pay for ads, you just need to ramp up your publishing, and it can't just be link dropping. So I do have another video for that. I will try to remember to link it on this one. But anyway, that's it. It was a painful month, but we are in a transition the blogging world is ever evolving. Anyone who follows me knows that I've always said that. It is forever going to be an evolving environment. And so we have to get used to having to readjust our strategies like on a dime, literally, um, and be open to trying new things. But here's the important thing. You've got to be intentional with what you're doing. Don't just like do chaos gardening like I tend to do in my yard. Test out some different things, but be intentional with what you're doing. Understand why you're doing it in that specific platform. Understand how people relate to the content in those specific platforms, because every platform is different. Sometimes you have to do content differently for it to work here versus work there. And so I'm going to be sharing everything that I'm doing along the way, any new things that I'm trying. I don't share them until I actually have some proof that it's actually working, because I don't want to send you on rabbit trails that are fruitless. But as I start seeing fruits come from them, I will share those strategies with you. And if you have any questions at all, please let me know. We're all in this together. So if you did experience a loss of traffic this past month, I'm right there with you guys. It was very painful for me, because my income helps support other ministries, and so unfortunately I've had to scale that back, which really sucks. But I know God has a plan in all of this, and so I'm just going to keep listening to His voice telling me like go this way, and we will see what happens, guys. So that's all for this video. Drop a comment below if you have any questions. Of course, hop over to my Facebook group. That's the best place to get help and support. And I will see you guys all in the next video. Have a great week.